Hey there guys, Jinxie here, and today I'm bringing you in a deck profile for Inzektors. So let's just get right into it. So first card is one Inzektor Dragonfly. This card's at one because, well, it just spams the field really broken, and it's pretty much your MVP of the deck. So you run one Hornet. Again, this card's at one, pops anything, and it lets you get most of your players off and clears the field so you can push the game. I only play one Hobbit. A lot of people you see will play two. Basically, you just equip it and that card can attack directly. I don't like running the two because other Inzektors can't attack that turn. I just find it really good to open with, equip to Centipede to get your search or something. I run one Gigamantis. This is basically helps you make your Inzektors a beat stick, makes them a little bit harder to get over, and if it's destroyed, if they MST it or anything, or if you MST it, obviously, you can special one from grave. Really good card. Next, I run 3 Inzektor Centipede. This is basically a Stratos of the deck. Lets you get lots of players off. Basically, you special this with Dragonfly, and you can search any Inzektor card, spell trap or monster and add it to your hand. Next, I am running 3 Ladybug. This is your level manipulator. It allows you to increase the level of any monster you control, Inzektor or not, by 1 or 2 levels. Really good to open up with, lets you get your players off with Dragonfly and obviously Centipede if there's nothing there to pop. Really good to open up with. So for the support cards, I'm running 1 Armageddonite. A lot of people will run 2, but I feel that you only need 1 as it can be a really dead draw. I'd rather draw it something else. My main aim is to get Ladybugs and Hornets in the grave. It does the job just fine at 1. There's many other ways I can get it in. So next I play 1 Dark Arm Dragon. Everything's dark, pretty much self-explanatory. Lets you pop everything. I run 2 Karkades, draw power, self-explanatory. And I run 2 Summoner Monk. Lets you get rank 4 players off, works really well with Armageddon Knight, and it can work really well with Hopper. Lets you go into players such as Lavarvo Chain or even Cowboy for game if need be. So, moving on to the spells. I run 2 Inzektor Swords Excalibur. This basically increases your Inzektor's attack, and if it's destroyed, you can add an Inzektor card, Inzektor monster from your graveyard to your hand. Really good. Pretty much, if you can't push the game, then it allows you to ensure you've got an Inzektor for next turn. I run 2 Insect Imitation. Works really well with Ladybugs and Karkade if you're really desperate. Basically, attributes and specials an insect that's 1 level higher. I run 2 Forbidden Lands. Not many people run this card in this deck because they do just try and pop the back row first, so it's not too much of a problem, but I feel like there's a lot of cards that can be problematic and Lance works really well for. So I just like to have it in, make sure my players go off. I run 2 MST. Works really well with things such as Hornets, or if you haven't got Hornet, you can get more players off with Excalibur and add more stuff to hand, special stuff, anything like that really. Helps you get rid of a bit more back row if you haven't got the ability to with what you've got. I run 2 Pot of Duality. Really good to open up with, and sometimes it can be good late game if you've got your play set up, because obviously you can't special and you really want a special obviously. I run 1 Foolish Burial, helps me get my grave presence a bit faster. Obviously you want Hornet in grave rather than in hand. I run 1 Allure of Darkness. Yes, you have to banish, but I mainly play this if I can either make a Levier play or banish a Ladybug. It just gives me a little bit extra draw power, gets me what I need. And for the staples, I'd run 1 Book of Moon and 1 Dark Hole. So for the traps, I run 3 Call of the Haunted. Lets you get a lot of plays off from Xyz plays, and if your opponent gets rid of your monsters, obviously you want to get them back on your turn. You don't really want to do it on their turn because they'll just beat over it. I run 3 Threatening Roar. Stores your opponent out for a bit, lets you keep your monsters for a little bit longer. Obviously they can still pop them with effects, but it's nice to be able to protect yourself from getting OTK'd yourself. Works really well in the mirror match, stops your opponent going off, and obviously it's chainable. For the one-offs, I run 1 Torrential Tribute, pretty much your Dark Hole. 1 Bottomless, banishes opponent's monster, really good if they go for a big play. Solemn Warning, extremely good. I really like this card. It can be a dead draw late game, but I feel it's really necessary. It's pretty much a staple in all my decks. And 1 Compulse. I feel this is probably one of the best trap cards this format, because I feel like there's going to be a lot more Xyz decks, and it's going to be really useful to return that stuff to hand. So, moving on to the extra deck. So for the rank 3s, I run 1 Leviathan Dragon. Really helps you get your quick detaches off, lets you get that Dragonfly engraved to call it, get more combos off obviously. 1 Levier, Allure, maybe if your opponent's banishing stuff themselves or banishing stuff from your grave. You don't really see much of them, but an example would be something like Agents. You could Levier to get a Venus or something. Just helps you get a bit more damage on board if you haven't got enough. I really like Tempo. This is probably my favourite rank 3 Xyz. I really like it. It's really good against Xyz decks. Basically drops your opponent so that you can only use the effect 1 less time, or in some cases they can't use the effect at all. I run 1 Mech-Equipped Engineer. Really good to go into, keep your Dragonfly alive, and or anything else that you need. You can even keep itself alive if this is all you've got. And finally for rank 3s, I run 1 Zen Mains. Really good. If you really need the pop, I'd go into this over Engineer, but if you know what your opponent's playing and you need to keep your Dragonfly alive, I would definitely recommend going into the Engineer. So for the rank 4s, Varvel Chain. If you really need to, you can mill a card, which really when I go into Varvel Chain, I don't really find the need to, because you usually get the effects from Armageddon Knight to mill. So I do tend to top deck something that I need next turn. 1 Gargoyle Cowboy. This is really good to burn for game if you're just short of gaming them. Burn them for 800. Really good card. 1 Photon Papal Operative. Basically, if your opponent's setting a lot of cards, just flip them face up in attack and they lose 600. Helps you get over a lot of things. 1 Black Ship of Corn and 1 Diamond Direwolf. I feel like these are really staples in this format. They allow you to pop, and with cards such as Orpheon, Diamond Direwolf gets over that really good, and Black Ship's really good for Xyz that can stop themselves being destroyed, such as Mace Stroke or Zen Mains, because obviously they don't get destroyed, they just go straight to grave. And lastly for the rank 4s, I run 1 Abyss Dweller. Really good for water matchups and other things that need grave presence, such as Dark Wells. Chainable effect, quick play, and it stops your opponent from using any effects in grave. So for the rank 5s, I run 1 Voltosaurus. Really good to burn your opponent, get rid of boss monsters, and just a really good card in general. I really like it. Helps you get over a lot of things if you can't get over them already. 1 Shark Fortress. If you can't push the game, it's nice to go into him with a Ladybug and obviously attack once more with obviously something that's going to give it a lot of damage. Helps you push the game a lot more often. 1 Trias. This is really good in a mirror match, and it's really good in things such as against things such as Dark Worlds. If you can get rid of Gates, make sure Gates isn't there. Obviously they can attack over it, but you tend to have a threatening roar most of the time. And obviously lastly, 1 Gaia Charger. just when your rank 5s are dead. So lastly, I'm going to give you the extra deck, which is 2 Flying Seas. Sorry, side deck, my bad. I'm running 2 Flying Seeds. This is really good against Exceed decks such as Evil Swarms, Constellas, anything that exceeds a lot. Constellas are a bad matchup for me because obviously they can just keep returning everything in my hand and stop me players from going off. And obviously Evil Swarms and Constellas are really heavy on back row. I run 2 Maxis, anything that spams the field a lot. Gigas will probably be a deck now that dragons are gone. Karakuki, it'll either stop them to play or give you a lot of draw power if you decide to make a Maxi challenge. I run 2 Effect Veilers. I feel this card is extremely good this format. It's going to stop a lot of opponents' players and really give them a difficult time. Obviously not that the deck does that enough. I run 1 system down, things such as Gears or Mecha Phantoms. Not that you're really going to run into Mecha Phantoms, but on the off chance that you do, this is really good. Unfortunately, it's not a quick play, but it still works really well. Next, I play 2 Soul Taker. The reason I'm playing 2 Soul Taker is because there are some cards such as Consecrated Light. Sorry about that. There are some cards such as Consecrated Light which really lock this deck down and they're really hard to get over. So the Soul Taker, even though it gives them 1,000, it's really good to have and helps you get over a lot of things that could potentially lock the deck down. I play 1 Chain Destruction and 1 Karma Cut. A lot of people really haven't heard of these. Basically, Karma Cut, you discard 1 card and remove from play a face-up monster that your opponent controls, and then banish all of the monsters of the same name in the grave. And Chain Destruction, unfortunately you have to play Chain Destruction when there's a monster summoned with 2,000 or less attack, but it removes all of them from the deck and hand. Unfortunately it doesn't get over the one that's on the field, but that's fine. I'll probably side in a Soul Taker. If I side in Chain Destruction, get rid of the one on the field, obviously, because obviously I won't want it there. Next I play 2 Imperial Iron Wall. Really good. You really don't want your stuff to be banished, you just want to keep it there. The decks such as Anti-Meta, not that this is really a meta deck, but Anti-Meta can hit it. There are some decks that will run things such as Evil Swarm or Ouroboros and try and banish your Dragonfly or your Hornet, which can be really frustrating, so it's nice to have the option to make sure that they stay there. And lastly, I run 2 Mind Crush. This card's really good. It works really well against spellbooks because they constantly add in the hand, and obviously the same with Bujins, Fire Fists, Fire Kings, anything that goes plus and you know what they're adding, really works well with them. Anyway guys, this has been Jinxie. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, comment and subscribe. I will be doing a combos video which will be linked down in the description. So as I say, if you like the video, please like, comment and subscribe. It's all free, and yeah, peace.